Hello again, Ian Stucker with Mastermind Games. Going into Warhammer 40,000 spin-off game Kill Team with the Rogue Trader box set and Vulgrar Thrice-Cursed of the Gellerpox Infected. So, starting out with Tanned Skin 09044. So, Vulgrar, or Old Boiler Guts. So he's compatible with Warhammer 40,000. And has updated points values in the new 2019 chapter approved, but he's actually 3 people fused into one by Nurgle's insidious Gellerpox. So we're going to start by doing 3 different skin tones on him. And we're going to fuse them together here. Kind of blend them in, so it's going to be some wet on wet there. Now, the Geller field is a system that puts a bubble of reality around Imperial ships while they traverse the alternate hellscape known as the Warp, another dimension. And that in mind, well, as it repels the demons and the other effects of the Warp, the Chaos God Nurgle, God of Plagues, developed a sickness to work with the Geller field to infect the crew of the ship, starting with the engineering systems, or engineering decks, specifically. And we're going to go to Golden Skin 09092, specifically infecting through the Geller field. And the effects of this disease merge the crew with merge flesh and metal, fusing man and machine to horrible amalgamations of who and what they once were. And Vulgrar Thrice-Cursed and the people he used to be were part of the crew of Rogue Trader Elusia Vane before becoming infected and taking over the bowels of her ship not long before she reached the planet she was looking for, courtesy of an old map she stole. I thought I did. Olive Skin 09221. And by the time Vane found out her crew was compromised, she was already there. They were basically in control of major portions of her ship, and she had to blow it up, only to find out they got into her secondary ship, a shuttlecraft. And more or less, Vane got stuck on the planet she had found on behalf of Roboody Gilliman to a place where it was lost to the wars with the Death Guard in the Ultramar system. And that's not too bad for a start. Again, I kind of wanted to have it look like Thrice-Cursed, really was made of 3 different people, so each head and adjoining areas have gotten different skin tone now. So that's pretty good. Maybe a little more of the golden right around here where it blends into the olive. And I'm going to call that good for now and let it dry before moving on, but that's a good start. Okay, next, Banshee Brown, which is an Army Painter color. I'm going to give him khaki pants. And I'm going to be playing around with the shading and highlighting to bring the three skin tones composing old boiler guts together. But to a certain extent, the takeover of Lucia Vane's ship was partly her own fault for paying so little attention to the engineering that they didn't catch what was going on until it was already too late to do anything about it. And while she found a very beautiful, idyllic world to inhabit, she's also stuck there now. Then I'm going to take Rosy's skin, 09068. And I'm going to do the tongue in this. Not normally the color you'd associate with it, but again, we're talking about a horribly infected mutant here. I think that's good for that, so let's see here. Yellow Bone 09143. Not too much, well, not much of anything showing in the way of exposed bone, at least not anything I want to do like that. But there are teeth. Particularly goofy grin on the middle head. And this third head looks like its mouth is wired shut, so I'll bear that in mind when I hit it in a bit. So, getting there. Back in a bit. Okay. 09197 Old Bronze. Picking out some of the mechanical pieces here. Getting a nice grid over the boiler, which is a weapon he has access to. Okay, having a little trouble talking right now. Just recovering from a upper respiratory infection I've caught just before Christmas, which to a certain extent makes it ironic that I'm doing a chaos model today, or a Nurgle model. Alright. Going over the arms. I can't remember what the exact wording on what his melee weapons are, but I know it's abstracted. There's more than one kind of Geller pox infected that the disease will create. And true to chaos, there's a certain amount of randomness to it. There's special creatures associated with. That screw in the joint. Actually, I'm not going to do the drill bit in this coloration. I need to watch that. But there are those stitches. More stitches in the staples that join the hip. Knee looks like a spigot. Back of the knee. Some more joints and down the leg. I got to this set a while ago, but I've had such a backlog, I'm like getting to it now. Oh boy, I sound like a car with a bad carburetor right this minute. But I'm almost done with this step. Kind of a straightforward scheme, really. And I think, nope, not yet. These stitches there, a bit on the forearm here. Now that's good. Plate mail metal, another army painter color. Gonna get the talons on the feet. And the drills coming out of the back of the knees. Bigger drill. Ink claws on this larger hand. Okay. And then Phoenix Red 09005. And getting the cables that have fused into his flesh. Connecting various parts in disturbing ways. Okay, that's base coats. Gonna let that dry completely before I start shading. Alright, time to shade. Fire red 09004. Just a bit of the steel on top here, I just noticed. Get this spike real quick. Now, fire red 09004. And mixing 1 part water to 1 part paint to fit it into a wash. And just go over the area to be affected. That flow in and around. Khaki shadow 09121. Again, thinning it out and going over the pants. Kind of hard to tell where his flesh ends and his pants begin, but to another extent, that's kind of the purpose of the Geller box. Fusing everything into one incredibly uncomfortable hole. And I'm going to let that dry before moving on, I think. Yeah, I'm going to let it dry. Alright, next up, where did I put it? Scorched metal 09125. This is going over all the metal to give it a rusty look. Very Nurgle appropriate. Again, thinning with 1 part water, 1 part paint. And if this blends into the skin tone, that's fine. And that's fine because all of the Geller pox infected are amalgamations of flesh and metal. And I kind of started focusing on one portion at a time. Keeping my brush nice and wet. Now the flames I'll pick out later. go over all of the metal. Though I don't necessarily need a perfectly solid coat on this. Yeah, that's good. Gonna let that dry before moving on. Next, gonna go with Ghoul Skin 09148. You know what? Actually, Moldy Skin 09149 instead. Gonna go over all the flesh here with this. Again, shading it as a wash. And not caring too much about nicking the metal because, again, amalgamation of both. And the tongue and teeth as well. Just gonna go around and get the body before I move on to the arms, or attempt to. Kind of ambiguous where the body's supposed to end and the pants begin around the belly, but kind of the point of a demonic spawn of Nurgle, or yeah, I think that's about appropriate. Okay, go ahead and get the little arms now. The light's kind of funny at that angle, there's nothing I can do about it. It's pretty good. Once that dries, I can get the flame prepped and go from there. Yeah, I think I might have forgotten to do the spike at the top of his head, so I'll do a little bit of moldy skin on that. And I'm going to do this on the base too, by the feet. Alright. Matte white, prepping some lighting effects. When this. Whoa, almost dropped him there. The exhaust pipes. Big one's going to be the flames coming out of his belly, though. Nice solid coat of white there. That way the flame work will look all the brighter when I get to it. Okay. And you know what? This too. Okay. I'm going to take a matte black. Oh boy, that went flying. That's too much. Just going to thin it out a little. It'll wash. Sort of. Just want to put some definition in this tab 2 here. Just carefully. There we go. And yeah, that's not bad. All right. Once that dries, I can do the lighting effects and move on. Okay. Fire orange 09006. Which is not mixed thoroughly, so. Better. 2 to 3 parts water to 1 part paint to thin it into a wash. And it's going to go in the smokestacks and on the lenses. Kinda. Looks like getting this in place I don't want, so blot it out and try again. Now for the fire, Phoenix Red 09005. And doing this as sort of a base coat. Maybe a little more water than usual. Going in the grate. Okay. Let that dry a bit before moving on, but getting there. Okay. Fire Red 09004. Which is plugged up. Which is why I keep a paper clip handy. Don't need too much of this. Just getting fire A. One's over here. And that's good. Let that dry and move on with it. Alright, time to highlight. Oh boy, I just dropped them. Switching to a dry brushing technique. And I'm going to use Lemon Yellow 09009. So that shade of Ghoul skin kind of muddied things up more than I expected to. I'll have to bear that in mind the next time I do multiple skin tones on a model. So, making sure I'm not dropping hundreds of frames a second because my program just did a major update. No water, straight paint, ragged feather brush, rubbing most of the paint out on a paper towel and make it look like there's nothing left. Get that out of the way now. And lightly dust the area to be affected. This will catch on the raised areas. So recesses alone, and it should give a nice, unhealthy looking complexion. I'll do it on all the flesh and teeth there. Foregoing the typical highlights to make it look disease-ridden and disgusting and nasty. Because this is one of Nurgle's babies. It's a bit too much paint right there on the shoulder. I'll try to just thin that out a bit. Going against raised areas. Try my best to catch every single blister and boil I see so that they stand out. And highlighting generally is one of the quickest steps. So I'm hoping there are no glitches. My program did a major update, so we are in the age of the internet after all, where every time they fix something, they half the time break something in the process, or break something else. I'm getting a little cynical here. Clean out the brush thoroughly and just let it dry. Just set it aside for now. Sun Yellow 09, or no, not that one yet. First Fire Orange 09006. Getting ahead of myself. Going to be doing 2 highlights on the flames. I'll do that. I'll need to get started on somewhere. Now this is going to go on the cape wing as well. That's snaking in and out of the body. Various points. That's good. Next, Khaki highlight 09123. Seems I've dropped 101 frames somewhere along the line, but alright. Get that figured out eventually, how to stop that from happening. But okay. True Silver 09207. Trying to go from the lowest area on the model to the highest. Let's see here, which one? This one. Now, I had thought about doing a second wash of pure black over the drill bits and some of the metal to to give it a greased, oily look, but decided against it. But that is an option, not necessarily a bad one. In my case, I thought it might make it a little too busy, too convoluted. Decided to stick with just a rust look, but that is an option. And Tarnished Brass 09198. And if this ends up hitting some of the flesh, that might work in my favor, because after all, the Gillerpox infected are an ugly amalgamation of metal and flesh. And actually, I just said it succinctly right there. Being careful here because I want to get part of the boilerplate, but not, and part of the grate, but not the flames. It's not going to look completely polished, but that's okay. Again, mutated abomination. Just trying to stick to one part of the model at a time so I don't miss anything. Refreshing paint as needed. Ending with the exhaust pipes coming out of the back. It's not bad. And right after I clean my brush, I realized I missed a spot. So I'm going to brush this right under the neck of this head here. And the jaw. Just metal on this head. Now, Sun Yellow 09008. And a second highlight on the flame. Just the most prominent part though. And that ain't bad. Now, pure or matte black. Switching to a flat brush. There's a nice one. Nope, not that one. Where's my best one? There it is. Do a little dig in there. Thinning it out to the same amount of water as a base coat. And I'm not worrying about the gravelly stepping in. That's going to largely be obscured when I get the basing on him. I've been thinking about doing custom sculpted basing for my Warhammer 40,000 related models. I just haven't yet. I don't know what I will, but I'm just lining the base, put a nice finish on it, being careful around the feet. And there we go. I need to let this dry completely, then I can add a basing material. Next, white glue. special brush. Mix that up into a wash there. Just going to carefully paint around the base of the model. Alright. Alright. Now get that glue solution out of the way. The basic material. Dip it in there. Shake off the excess. Check over that. Using a spare brush that's dry, I'm just gonna push it away from areas I don't want it. And I need to let that set for a bit. Quick and easy basing. Alright, final step. A sprayer brush on adhesive. Glass eyedropper, because this stuff bonds to plastic very quickly. And carefully filling the base. Just carefully dropping on, and you need to give some time for your material to set first. Otherwise, this will just push the flock, or in this case, talus, around and make ugly divots in it. Absorb it pretty quickly, but just enough to saturate it. Once it dries, it'll have a rock hard finish and keep the basing material on the base and not in your boxes. And there we go. Vulgrar Thrice-Cursed from the Rogue Trader box set for Kill Team and Warhammer 40,000. Continuing on this set next time with the Hull Breakers. Until then, I am Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, signing out.